G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and we have Port Adelaide Geelong review to do here, and probably after this I'll be going to bed and pretty much crying to sleep after yeah, another poor performance in the big time, I suppose. Yeah, it's kind of like the old adage of death and taxes are guaranteed. I feel like Geelong playing terrible in finals also marries up to that as well. Well, right now we've played 16 finals since the 2011, and we've won 4. So just take that in for a sec. Four wins and 12 losses from finals since the 2011 Premiership. I can't. Chris Scott can say what he likes about no team has a good finals record. I think that's a load of garbage. 4 and 12 is absolutely atrocious. And yeah, I mean, it's just disappointing, and it's the same old stuff, losing in similar ways. Very flattening and deflating, that's for sure. And look, we had our chances, and we shot ourselves in the foot. You can see right there, we had more scoring shots than Port Adelaide, and they made their moments count, and we couldn't. So you get that type of result, I suppose, at the end of the night. We settled early, the best. First 10 minutes were going okay, but then, yeah, Port started to get their ascendancy around the ground, and ultimately it was their work inside the contest which normally wins you the game of football, and it did again tonight. Yeah, you just look at Port Adelaide's midfield and the way they were able to move the ball away from the stoppage versus us. Like, they were able to get spare players, they were able to set up the wall, they had field position for most of the night, they used the ball, yeah, exceptionally well. Their pressure was absolutely tremendous, and yeah, gave their forwards some good looks. We obviously restricted them to an extent, but they were able to get the ball, yeah, deep a lot of the time, and our defence looked very shaky, as it has in a number of finals. Yeah, midfield just continually, yeah, not getting the job done. Yeah, I'll go into the players individually probably a bit later, but yeah, when you've got things like Robbie Gray playing amazing, and Wines playing amazing, Boak playing really well, and yeah, Pau Pepper 5 clearances in the first quarter. When you have those sorts of things going against you, you're up against it already. And understandably at home, yeah, they should have been the favourites and they should have won, but it's not to say that we didn't have our chances and we should have, won as well. I reckon. You look at you look at the result. 16 points was the final margin, and a couple of sort of red time goals, late goals to Ebert, and I think, trying to think of the other player. There was times where we kicked a goal and then immediately Port Adelaide got the clearance and got a goal out of nowhere. So yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow, guys. It's all good and well to make the top 4. It's all good and well to be right up there, but it's continually disappointing to lose the same way, time after time. I've talked a lot about Port Adelaide, but a bit about Geelong, I guess. We once you put the F word in front of the Cats, we fumble, we crumble, we go to water, we shit ourselves, we're deers in headlights, we're everything, everything that you want to see, you see it when it doesn't matter. So the home and away, we look great. We beat Port by 10 goals. We've lost to them twice since 2007. 13 years we've lost to them twice, and it has to be a final that we lose to them again. We've bloody never lose to Melbourne ever. We lose to them in the 2018 final. We won about 19 or 20 in a row against Richmond. We lose to them in the 2017 final. Come on, at some stage you got to stand up and take it by the throat. It's pathetic. It's just so frustrating being so good when it does not matter. The home and away is irrelevant with Geelong. We'll play well, of course, but when it really matters, we can't handle it. We can't handle the pressure cooker. As I mentioned, Port's pressure was really good. Our pressure wasn't there. I mean, it was at times, but Port Adelaide just always had that outlet. They always had a player to go to. They always had an intercept marker to sort of, stem the flow and things like that. And equally, we just couldn't hit targets, like basic targets, and we go for kicks that, Guthrie in the second or third term kicks it in the corridor, no one's there, and Duncan misses Atkins, and luckily Atkins, got a hand on it. But there's just so many moments where you're just shooting yourself in the foot again and again and again. Oh, I just can't. It's unbearable being a Cats fan. We are a shocking final side. It's reality, and we've got to live with that, and we've got to deal with that. And so do the players, and so do the coaching staff. That we are chokers. Once upon a time, we're just going back to the Geelong of old, the Geelong in the 90s, where it'd be so good in the home and away, and such a high scoring team, but it just becomes unstuck when it really really counts and really matters. And it's just super disappointing. It's hard to put a finger on it. It's not a player problem. It's a whole collective group, and having confidence and backing in your ability, and just being able to take the game on and not be flustered by the occasion. Port Adelaide have barely played a final in the last 3 or 4 years. They've barely been there. They've got blokes that haven't played finals ever, and we've got a team that's got players littered with triple premiership players, and we've got these up and coming guys really promising and looking really good throughout pretty much the whole year, and you dish that crap out. It's just pathetic. Pathetic. Oh, let's go through the stats. Hope you enjoyed my rant and saltiness just before I'm about to shoot off to bed. I'm just glad to get this off my chest for a bit. Just sort of talk to someone about it. Oh, thank goodness. Look, so we got a bit more of the ball, but didn't really use it that well. Same amount of entries. Disposal efficiency, I find that hard to believe, but our chip arounds seem to do well. One thing that we did okay was not allow Port to get easy goals. Oh, well. They probably could have got more bang for their buck on the scoreboard, and as you can see by the efficiency there, we weren't too bad in that department, but gosh, there were some easy goals, and Motlop kicking 3 was just bloody unbelievable. Any danger of doing that for us in the final, Steve? I think you have one good final in your whole life, and the second one's against us, and of course it's against us, so he's barely been in the side and just kills us. Anyway, Port Adelaide won the clearances, and that was pretty clear. They were damaging out of the clearances as well. Won the contested ball, and we normally win the game, but when you win it by just 4, it doesn't really matter. And there's contested possessions, and there's contested possessions, just like clearances. Got more of it on the outside, but only just. Outmarked them plenty, but lots of sideways kicks and kicks to nowhere. We won the contested marks, and we had more marks inside 50. But we choked in front of goal, and we couldn't convert. If Hawkins kicks one of his goals early, all of a sudden it looks a bit different. Stanley kicks the very first one, maybe it looks different. He kicked his second one, which was muchly needed, but it just felt like we were on a knife's edge the whole night. Selwa keeping us back to within a point, and then Ebert, you could put 100 million houses on Ebert kicking that goal on the siren, and other little moments like Parfitt handballing it to Ablett's like, just go back and kick the goal, mate. You're not the best kick, but why are you handballing it to blokes when there's less than a minute to go? And I think he just got the siren, like he defeated it, but he only got 20 metres on the kick. Like, that's his bread and butter, Gaz, snapping those. And then Duncan gets it with like 3 or 4 seconds to go, and you just know he's going to play on and try and find a hit up, like when he's a perfect kick from 50. And he hits Hawkins, straight lace out after the siren. And the siren literally just sounded like, it's just a disaster. Just everything that could have gone wrong basically did go wrong. Now I've got to go through this. Go through the players. So I'll just gather my thoughts together for the 3, 2, and 1. Because whilst it wasn't super obvious, and there was a lot of players that didn't play particularly well. Defenders normally get a lot of votes, but I'll tell you what, our backline wasn't very good. Uh, yeah, I'm finding it pretty tough here, ladies and gentlemen. Depending on how Charlie Dixon, when he did kick a goal, a lot of poor performers in there. When that's the case, it's not particularly what the doctor ordered. I'm going to go 3 votes controversially to Harry Taylor because he conceded 1 goal on Charlie Dixon, and with the amount of delivery they got in his first final, he didn't. Don't believe he took a mark. Let's find out. I'm assuming that's the marks. He's taken the marks 101 games in a row, and there were so many times Taylor just got a fist in there. I don't know if he was our best player, but certainly in my books, yeah, gets a bit of a nod. Um, I'll go. Yeah, we'll go Reece Stanley for the 2. He kicked 2 goals, was critical there. Dropped a few marks, took a few as well. He was reasonable in the clearances, and we're a better side with him in it for sure. And I'll give the 1 vote to Dangerfield. He kicked that really good goal, running back towards goal. He got a bit of the ball, but again, he turned over a bit. 6 clearances, so he was handy. Played well. If we go through the rest, Duncan, he was okay, but again, not nearly the impact he'd normally do. Guthrie only got 16. He's been getting 25, 30 each game most of the time, and it was ineffective. Henderson tried. He was solid down back, I suppose. Yeah, he took 8 marks and had it. Yeah, wouldn't have been a lot of contested marks, but now this is an interesting one. Tom Hawkins. So you look at that and you go, that's a shocking game. It could have been an amazing game, but Hawkins had a shocker. Honestly, he's literally cost us the game here with his conversion on goal. Goals he would normally kick, he missed. He snapping them around the corner when he normally just takes this, which means he's not, confident. And yeah, he was one of our worst. And well, I don't know about one of our worst, but yeah, he could have won us the game, and he off his own boot he lost it. That game will haunt him for sure. Selwood played a pretty decent game, at least in the first half, but I don't feel like he did a lot after half time, but he got 16 in the goal. Tui got 16 in the goal, but I didn't feel like he had much impact. Menegola was okay, but again, similar. Putzar's got a little bit of the ball, a little bit in the ruck. And I like Parfitt's game. He was okay. He was a chance for a vote. Stewart, certainly, well held, and I feel like they played a very accountable role on him. It's almost like, Motlop got the chocolates. It looked like he was on him at times, and then Stewart went to make a play a couple of times, and it didn't pan out well. He didn't impact the contest, and then went over the back for 2 easy goals for Port. I don't know how Dalhouse got 16, but I don't feel like his impact was much. Henry, he's a deer in the headlights, Henry. He just gets caught all the time. Needs to sort that out. Hughes a little bit run off halfback. He wasn't too bad. Kolajasny, if ever there's a bloke that crumbles under finals pressure, it's Kolajasny. Whenever the heat comes on, he kicks him out in the full. He gets hold on the ball. He gets all sorts of things. Had a chance to kick his first goal ever, and you could just bank it in that it wasn't going to go through. And yeah, he's I don't know. And Gary Ablett, the little master. I don't know how you can't be fresh after he's had so. We can't be relying on Ablett to win, finals off his own back. But come on, 10 touches, and he couldn't get time or space all night. They were all over him in any final he's played. I feel like he just hasn't had the time or space to get any kind of efficiency and any sort of rigor going forward. Rowan, probably one of his worst games ever. He just simply goes up for marks and he just can't bring them down. And he was pretty much useless tonight. I liked Atkins' game. He obviously got a fair few handballs off, and he tries hard, that's for sure. O'Connor was sort of not bad, but he went missing. Myers also went missing in another big final. He obviously had a good game against the Tigers, going back to the 2019 final, but very quiet, as I mentioned about Taylor. And that's that's a bit of a view of the yeah, Cats plays individually, but yeah, it's the same old story, guys. I'm sure Chris Scott in his press conference will say, "No, it's a different team to last year, and the team Geelong is now isn't the team that Geelong was in 2007 and 2011." And yeah, I get that, but come on, we've had 11 out of 14 top four finishes over the last 14 years. If we were half a decent side, we like a Hawthorn or a Richmond in the modern day or a Brisbane, we probably win 4 or 5 premierships from 14 top four finishes. We won 3 in 5 years and haven't made a grand final since 2011. As for what it looks like next week, we'll find out. I'll be praying West Coast win. Collingwood, a genuine chance to beat the Eagles there at home. The Pies took it right up to Port Adelaide and lost by a pretty similar margin, actually. So, taking nothing away from Port, I understand they've been on top of the ladder all year, but they should be equally as shaky as us in the finals, I would have thought. And I understand they have a really good game style, but you kind of go, we beat this mob by 10 goals. We should be laughing like playing this club, and now we're the laughing stock of the competition in finals. So we've got West Coast or Collingwood next week. Yeah. If it's West Coast, I'll be more confident. If we're playing Collingwood, I could probably see potential straight exits. Yeah, sort of proposition there. That's not to say that if we play the Eagles, it's a guaranteed win either. But if Geelong are predictable like they have been, we'll play so much better next week, and it'll be an amazing response, and we'll get our hopes up that we're a chance to win the premiership, and then we'll be disappointing and play like we did in the qualifying final and the prelim final, and the cycle repeats. So football's a brutal game, and it's brutal when you've been up there for so long and made such little inroads. When you win 4 out of 16 finals, it's a hard pill to swallow. To be 25% record from finals is atrocious. So yeah, don't know, guys. It's so hard to continue. You just think, surely not again, surely not again. There's got to be, you got to sometimes just, as I've discussed with Shorty, Supercoach off air, you know, he loves this mantra. Sometimes you got to win one you're not supposed to win, and I just feel like we're never capable of doing that. And yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm sure we'll come out firing next week. I'm sure we'll probably win. If we go out in straight sets, yeah, I wouldn't bother about Higgins or Goldstein or anyone really. The thing is, it's not a personnel problem. It's a culture. It's a mindset of the collective group that's out there, and you just see blokes that don't fumble in the home and away, fumble in finals, and the pressure lifts, and that's okay. But why aren't we hunting? Where's our pressure gauge? You know, going through the roof in finals when it actually counts. It's all good. It's no good playing amazing footy in round 12 when no one cares. Produce those games like that comeback against Brisbane, or that 10-goal win over Port Adelaide, or that 10-goal win against St Kilda. Make that your final. Stuff this bloody bullshit football when there's nothing really on the line. How can you put that out there and then not be able to replicate it later? It's just, it's $1 million question, guys. I don't get it. Well, it's time for bed. Chuck down your comments, guys, on the game. Where you see the Cats at. Are they any chance for the 2020 flag? Are they a chance to go out in straight sets? What do you all reckon? Let me know down there. And I'm sure you'll hear from me soon. Hopefully we can get a win next week, but it'll probably be all the same story the week after. Yeah, just can't get together consistent football in finals when it really counts. So, all right, that's enough from me. Thanks for hanging around, guys. Bit defeated, just like the Cats, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.